Hello everyone, I'm Chester44, also known as Fly, and welcome to this Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper 2. Last episode... Oh, I just realized I didn't actually take one of these. Or I did, but save was before that. Anyway, last episode... I think that's what I'd taken into it. We had basically finished up some minor side quests that involved going around and taking care of things. Also, we have a pet cat. With that said, I believe the next place we have to go to will be the Scatteryards, which will require some fuel, so I'm gonna go ahead, buy fuel, and completely fuel up. There we go, that's fine. If we need any more of this, we have it. I can use up the rest of these in order to get a little bit better. So it only makes sense, may as well. And that gets me a load of money, which... Okay, and lost some energy, but we're fine. Okay, with that all handled, let's take our trip to the Scatteryards. The winking sigils of the yards flash across the dark landscape of the belt, each one a siren light for crews in need of repairs or eager for improvements. Scatteryards live up to their reputation. But Seraphin will not be drawn in by the lights. He guides the ship into an empty, ragged-looking yard, darker and more frame than plate. It looks rougher than any of the others. Seraphin, maybe we want to dock somewhere a little bit more welcoming? We aren't that hard up. Or are we worse off than I thought, Sleeper? Best shipwrights rarely have the brightest signs. Thought you'd know that, Bliss. Seraphin reaches up and flicks a set of switches above his head. Marco's the best in the Scatteryards. The best? Or just the best you know? Bliss gives him a skeptical look. You'll see. Seraphin smiles widely, shutting off the main console and unclipping from the pilot's seat. We're safe here. No need to run from Lane for a while. He'll never find us in Marco's yard. Will be nice to have a break from running. Junie floats at the back of the cockpit. I hear the Scatteryards has some good data analysis terminals on the hub. If you can spare me. Nia glides into the cockpit. We here? Femi loves this place. She glances at you with a smile. All these grumpy spacers waiting on repairs. I think it fits his temperament. You follow Seraphin as he glides eagerly to the airlock. You and Bliss exchange glances. Both of you are used to Seraphin's headstrong moments, yet you still can't help but feel that now familiar pull of someone else's problems. Marco! Seraphin opens his arms to the figure coming through the cycling airlock. Finn! Marco floats through the doorway, a crooked smile across his pale face, his sharp eyes glinting in the rig's bright work lights. The two embrace in more of a chest bump than a hug, Seraphin spinning with the momentum of the impact to end with his arm across Marco's shoulder, the two side by side, grinning. You notice Marco's eyes quickly falling on you, a slight narrowing suggesting he has immediate thoughts about your presence. So, this is who you're flying with now, Finn. Marco shoots you a wink, his expression shifting to conceal his previous curiosity or concern. Bliss? Bliss. They introduce themselves curtly. You two used to be on a crew together, I assume. Me and Finn? No, we're just drinking buddies. Marco's response provokes a laugh from Seraphin, some kind of joke you can't quite catch the tone of. Marco turns his attention to you. And the Sleeper? My condolences. It's a damn crime what those corporations do to you. But at least you're out, huh? Hasn't gotten much easier. The belt can be unforgiving, I know that myself. Marco turns back to Seraphin. It's been too long, Finn. Not flying with old Betty anymore? You immediately see the reaction in Seraphin, his entire being tightening without anything more than a shudder to signify it. No, that's long done. That's the way of the belt. He shakes Seraphin by the shoulder. Come on then, enough floating around in this drafty old thing. Let's get a drink. Marco turns his attention to you. Feel free to make yourself at home in the yard. Here, take a little fuel. I've got loads of the stuff and it's been quiet for more than a few cycles. Happy to spare some for a friend. He steers Seraphin down the docking tunnel, waving a hand to you and calling back. I'll have him home in a cycle or two. His laughter echoes down the tunnel as they leave. Bliss turns to you. I'm going to go dig around the other yards for some components the rig could do with. You got things to do? You think of Cadet and wonder if she found her way here to the Scatteryards to extract the data on the Hexport drive. The only way to know would be to find her. Seraphin's words echo in your mind, his insistence that the only way to escape Lane is to beat him on his own turf. With Darkseid just sunward of the Scatteryards, this might be the perfect platform from which to attempt such a wild and dangerous plan. Sleeper? Bliss brings you out of your thoughts. I hate it when you do that. Just take care out there, okay? They drift off down the docking tunnel, leaving you in the airlock. Seems the next step is up to you. Let's see. Marcos' yard. Seraphin and Marco are off in some Scatteryards dive, catching up. You hope Marco returns your pilot in working order. 2 cycles. That's the rig. Nothing to do there. Oh, okay, we've got a lot here. Surya's yard. Surya watches his yard carefully, keeping an eye on all the work that goes on there. He's not easily impressed. So, we've got shipfitter's mate. New workers at Surya's yard are given the toughest job. As a mate, you are expected to keep the fitter supplied with confidence and speed. Or, as a low-level shipfitter, you are expected to do the hardest and most tedious welds to show your worth to Surya. Okay. But we also have the transit hub. A scattered mess of independent shipyards around a central transit hub, the yards are a particularly difficult place for outsiders. We can follow the markers. On every wall of the hub, there are scrawled alphanumeric markers that act as signs for the shipfitters, if you can understand them. And shop talk. There's no faster way to get to know shipfitters than to chat about their complex work. It does require a certain knowledge base, though. Well, I can follow the markers here. There's something compelling in the layers of scrawled directions in the hub. A complete commitment to an informal system. You start to understand the numeric codes, the arrows, and the flow of the hub. And one more, and we'll be able to find food and the like, which we will need. You have gained a familiarity, even a respect for the Scatteryards' resistance to conventional systems of organization. Hey! You hear the voice echoing through the public passage. Wait up! Ah, there's Cadet. I'm glad to see you. Cadet sweeps her hair out of her eyes and then glances up and down the corridor. This is not my kind of station. Cadet rolls straight into her complaints. All the yards have their own water and facilities, meaning the hub here is not fit for general use. There's a couple of guest houses, but you would not believe the state of them with all the spacers that stop here for shore leave. Oh, you don't want to know. Hey, Cadet. Hi, yeah. Are you even listening? So, get this. Cadet locks her fingers together and stretches her arms. That girl of mine I said could crack anything. She's gone. Didn't even leave a note. Ran to Darkseid, maybe. Not that I'd blame her, given the state of this place. She looks sideways at the grubby walls. She left her workshop empty, though, so I slipped in. That's where I've been napping. I've been doing my best all these cycles to crack that drive, but I'm a spindlejack, not a data scraper. Which is why I'm happy to see you. She takes a breath. Oh, telling you, I have not spoken to anyone in a long time. She runs her hand through her hair. How about that alert they put on you? It doesn't seem to stretch too far out of the spindle, but I've been careful. Hence the not talking to anyone in ages bit. Look, I'm in over my head here. Cadet looks away, annoyed at herself. How about you come down to the workshop, we put our heads together, see what we can pull out. I just know there's some nasty shit on that drive. Stuff worth getting out into the light. Nasty enough for them to ruin my life over. I'll be there. Cadet smiles for a moment, then it is gone. Alright then. The workshop is in the tech cluster. You'll see it. Ah, now I've got to go find something to eat that isn't dried. She turns and disappears back down the passageway. Okay. There we go. So we've got Fabricator Bay. The engine component fabricators in the hub are for shipfitters only, so they asked for a one-time fee to dissuade casual use. A one-time fee. You hand over your chits, or they take you to a free bay and show you the engine component fabricator. It's an intimidating machine. Let's see. Even with a specialized fabricator, component construction is a delicate act. Only the most skilled can produce a rare, error-free component. It takes time and skill to build engine components. Any errors will impact the outcome. Or the more errors a component has in its construction, the less valuable it will be. Enough errors and it's worthless. Got it. We don't need that, I don't think. The spent drive. Shipfitters aren't exactly known for their delicate taste, so all you'll get here is a high-glucose artificial ration in a sealed pouch. I guess I can take it. Well, that helps. Yard supply. Well, we can fill up our fuel and fill up our supplies. May as well fill up on fuel. And Cadet's workshop here. The drive is encrypted, but with the tools in Cadet's friend's workshop, you have a chance of cracking it. If you can work out through guesswork and analysis what the passcodes are, you can access the drive, or breaking the encryption directly takes skill, but is the most direct route to the data. Okay. Well, I have this 6, so I kind of want to use it here to at least get a bit of something. For whoever Surya is. You get in the flow and find yourself working at the high-level Surya sets for his crews. Nice work. Really? That's gonna take a while to do, I guess. Alright, either way, that's one done. Let's go ahead and... Oh, right! Rig Cargo Bay, that's almost done. One more and we'll be able to harvest. Right, and the cycle. Not the best rolls. But on the plus side, that's done. So if I choose to, I can. That said, no. Let's see if we can get Cadet's workshop done here. Identify passcodes. Oh, that's actually gonna take a while. Jeez, I just realized. Okay, you know what? I can get a few rolls in here. That was a failure. Wow. Totally overwhelmed by the speed of operations. That doesn't work. I need to actually get full positives if I want to do this. Noted. Eek. Alright, go ahead. Let's try and identify the passcodes here. You draw a blank and Cadet is struggling to think of a way. Okay, these are gonna take a while. You and Cadet work out a method for automatically eliminating common phrases in the passcode structure. Nice. And another rest. And now, things should be good. Sleeper! Seraphin's voice echoes through the ship. You in here? You glide down to the airlock, unsure of what state you are about to find your pilot in. Seraphin floats in the airlock, his arms above his head, gripping the lip of the interior door to hold himself in place. Come on, we need to talk. There's a straight-faced seriousness to Seraphin you weren't expecting, especially considering that he spent the past 2 cycles with Marco. You in trouble already? Seraphin shakes his head. I'm not messing around, just come. Seraphin leads you across the bridge, but rather than turn towards the automated shuttle bay that connects Marco's yard to the rest of the assembly, he leads you deeper into the guts of the yard itself. As he does, he begins to speak. I told Marco about Lane, about our escape, about everything. Seraphin ducks under a large pipe. He gets it. He's worked in Darkside. You trust him? I do. He looks back over his shoulder at you. And I would hope you trust me by now, too. Look, you said the same thing to me about the other people we've spoken with, so let me at least get this back at you. He comes to a sealed door and hammers in an entry code. Somewhere, machines start whirring. Remember in Wellspring, after everything what I said? Seraphin turns to face you. That we can't run forever? I mean, that will always be true, but no. That if we want to be free, we need to fight back. The door suddenly squeals as the ancient motors kick in and drag it across its corroded tracks. It reveals a large, half-lit chamber, its furthest parts masked with layers of scaffolding and frames, so it is hard to tell where the room actually ends. At the center, in a pool of warm light, Marco floats beside a terminal screen. Sleeper. He touches his brow in a mock salute as you enter. What happened to being drinking buddies? We got all the drinking done on the first cycle. The second cycle was all about problem solving. You hear the door you entered through screech shut, and then a sudden silence descends. Sorry to drag you out here, Sleeper, but I really can't be overheard on this one. We are close to Darkside here, and Utsobo have ambitions, shall we say, in the Scatteryards. Finn told me the whole story, and I am sorry for your troubles. He clasps his hands together. You have done well to evade Lane this far, but you must understand he's also been distracted. Since Hexpult went up, well, Darkside has been in crisis. If the war was the pressure shift that allowed Utsubo to build its strength, Hexpult was the breach to blow it wide open. Marco springs his hands apart. Hexpult's their justification for imposing total control in the name of protection. Marco glances away into a dark corner of the room. And, if my hunch is right, it's how they will extend their reach to the Scatteryards. Lane distracted is good. Yes, it has been so far, but the tide is shifting, Sleeper. If Utsubo consolidate their control at Darkside, their reach will be all the stronger. Then there really will be nowhere to hide. I am done running, Sleeper. I hate looking over my shoulder every cycle. I hate the nightmares, the fear. I want to face this head on, for better or worse. I won't be controlled by Lane, and this is our chance to break that control. Lane is hunting you, Sleeper, which means he is not in Darkside. This is good for you. There are people in Darkside resisting Utsubo, though I hear it is not going well for them. If you could find them, find out what they need, there is a chance here. Marco pauses, and you get the feeling he is assessing your reaction. Taking action is a choice right now, Sleeper, but soon it won't be. Not if what Marco is telling me is true. Let's do this on our own terms. What do we need to do? Seraphim meets your eye with conviction. Thank you, Sleeper. I know we can do this. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I will need some time to work this out. If you two want to go to the Darkside, there is no way you can take that stolen rig. It was a big enough risk just to bring it here. He glances at Seraphim, and you get the feeling he has already been reprimanded for this. So I need to find you a way in, and a way out. I know it can be done. Marco turns to you. I recommend you take the next few cycles to prepare. The Scatteryards are a good place to both spend and make cryo, depending on your need. And Finn, Marco puts a hand on his friend's shoulder. Try to stay cool. This will be recon only. A chance to see what's happening on Darkside and make your connections. It is not the time for grand gestures. Seraphim nods. Thank you, Marco. He glances at you. We'll keep things quiet until you're ready. You and Seraphim leave the hidden bay, the door screeching open to allow you to exit. When it seals once more, Seraphim turns to you. This is our chance to shift things, Sleeper. Let's keep our heads in the game. Aren't there other options? Do you see any? You heard Marco. It's just recon. We get in, make the connections, and get out. Then we can talk options. We should give Marco some time. I've got a few things I want to take care of in the Scatteryards, and I want to get a message to Tala. I know she would want to hear from me before... Let's make sure we're ready. Keep your head up, Sleeper. I'll see you on the rig. And with that, Seraphim kicks off down the passage on his way to the shuttle dock. You watch him go, unsure if you are impressed or concerned about his headstrong nature. Either way, things are in motion. The only thing you can do now is give yourself the best chance of success. Okay. 2 more cycles. Marco needs time to set up your entry point into Darkside, so all you can do is wait, prepare, and try to stay calm. I do still wonder about Surya's yard. I can try this. That only gets money. I need a guaranteed 100% in order to get it. Fine. Let's work on this. We can at least get these positive very nicely. What if I break encryption? Will that help? Okay, that is actually better. That is actually much faster. I should have been doing that. Alright, one more rest. Okay, we got some guaranteed positives. I know where I'm going to be using those. Unfortunately, I can't really guarantee another positive like that. I will go ahead and just buy a meal here. Let's go ahead, break the encryption again. There we go. Cadet catches your eye as you look over at her. What is it? She takes the end of the metal chopstick she had been chewing on out of her mouth. You got something? Cadet had given up already for the cycle, and while you were cracking the drive's complex encryption on her friend's workstation, she had been floating in the middle of a small workshop, pinging bits of scrap off of the shelving of the wall. Now she spins in the air and pushes off from the ceiling, spinning as she glides so she lands perfectly behind you, leaning over the terminal screen. As she does, you hit a key, executing the final decryption process. Slick? She goes to ruffle your hair, but you don't have any. Instead, she just wobbles your head playfully. What we got? With Cadet hanging over your shoulder, you try to concentrate on the data spooling across the screen. The first thing that catches your eye is a steady repetition of Quext, an identifier for Conway Extractions, the behemoth conglomerate currently waging a corporate war with Senate-Stat in the inner system. Why Conway? What is this data? You stop the scroll, looking for details. Hit that thing. Cadet pokes the screen, making it wobble. You dutifully click. A comment expands in the code, a note left by someone. It mentions tests and protocols, discusses reverse engineering and carrier signals. You close it and find another. Drone latency. Another. Security bypass. One more. Kill switch. It takes a long time, you and Cadet squinting into the blue screen to build up a picture of what you are looking at. When you are done, both of you sit back, your eyes sore and your minds clogged with technical terminology. Shit. Cadet shakes her head. They were dissecting it live. She is referring to the Conway drone mind this stream of data was scraped from. Huge volumes of internal data, of control systems, protocols, and passphrases. The kind of data you imagine was closely guarded by Conway, kept secret to allow the smooth operation of its drones. This thing, it's some kind of general or manager, right? Giving orders out to all the little drones that work for it. I always thought Conway controlled its drones remotely, with people. Those zero-latency point interfaces you hear about. From what you know, Cadet is right. Conway is known for their novel solution to the scale and logistical problems of the surrogate systems. Extraction and security drone ships piloted from light years away with proprietary comms interfaces. A drone mind, what this code is scraped from, should be a kind of distributor, a relay for the local drones it links to the closely guarded transmitter and receiver. But this data suggests otherwise. It suggests an active cognitive process, far more complex than any protocol you've heard of. A thinking machine. Look. Cadet jabs at the screen again. Is that? You see a line in the data stream that reads simply, Stop, get out, stop, get out, stop, get out, stop, get out. How did they do this? Cadet leans back. Everyone knows captured Conway drones purge themselves, and everything else is in the couple of square clicks around them when they're captured. You rip the control core out of one, sure, you can disassemble it, but its running will be gone. This one was still running when they took it apart. It should have gone up like a tactical nuke the moment they started. Is that what happened? But how did they get all this and get it out on a drive? Silence fills the workshop. You look back to the screen, unsure of the answers to Cadet's questions. You feel a deep chill, one that you know has nothing to do with the temperature of the workshop. Who the hell was doing this? Cadet scans code once more. Well, 100% positive chance. You back over the data, nothing. But the absence of a trail tells you almost as much as an obvious one would. The data is scrubbed clean, not to mention of who was scraping it. That means a professional. A professional with access to tools and protocols way beyond what you'd usually see in the Starward Belt. An outsider, then. Which outsider would benefit most from knowing the control protocols of Conway drones? Who would risk an entire belt station to find them? It's the simplest answer. Occam's razor. Senate Stat did this. You say it out loud and it sounds right. Yeah, that'd be my first guess too. But it's still a guess. We've been at this too long. I'm cooked. She pushes away from the terminal and floats in the room, stretching out her aching back. We know they had this drone mine on Hexport. That's where they were cutting it, scraping it. We know something happened and Hexport went up. She sketches her thoughts out in the air and with hand gestures as she summarizes. The data got out on that drive, I'm assuming before the explosion, then got to the far spindle. Someone tried to courier it, using me, but the receiver wasn't there. She turns and looks at you. Which is why they ruined my life and my job trying to get it back. We need more information. Yeah, we do. She floats over to the drive and picks it up. This thing has trouble written all over it. But it's also the only way to buy my life back. The way I see it, we have to expose these fools so they leave me be, or give them the data so they piss off forever. We can't give them this. Not if we don't already know who they are. But yeah, we can't. All the tools lead in one direction, I'm afraid. Back home. Hexport. If there's anything to confirm or deny this data, if there's anything to connect it to, if there's anything left at all, it'll be in the remains of that station. I had a feeling it might come to this, so I made some inquiries when I first got here. The word is that the place is irradiated to hell, but I've also heard the radiation is fading, and it's not like half the belt isn't glowing anyway. With suits, we'd have maybe a few cycles before it started to leak through. The problem is getting in. She puts the drive back on the desk's magnetic surface. Far spindle is a no. Not only do I not want to get picked up there, but the debris is denser on that side. No safe way in. Dark side is the best bet. She shakes her head. But I heard you have some trouble waiting for you there. Well, what if I deal with the trouble? Then we'd have a clear shot at it. She shrugs. Easier said than done. This place has one hell of a stowaway spot. Shielded from everything, plus the Scatteryards are no one's territory. I'm gonna leave the drive here. No peeking. But me? I want to keep moving. So I was thinking I could make myself useful till you shake that trouble in Darkside. Work for room and board and all that. You want to come with me? Oh yeah, professionally speaking. What do you say? You know I'm tough and I can do plenty besides ride an air bike. Hey, you're in. That's the answer I was hoping for. I've had enough of spacer bathrooms for a lifetime. I'll make myself at home on your rig. She picks up the drive and tucks it in a pocket. Cadet glances away at the racks on the wall and you follow her eyes to spot her air bike where it is hanging, carefully secured and pristinely kept. Cadet gives you a hard look. You better have room for my bike. Well, would you look at that? Cadet's part of our crew. What does she do? She is... I need the names. Engage and Engineering. Engage and Engineering are actually our weak points. At the moment. Endure is something we still need, and Eugene is still the only one who can do Endure. But Engage and Engineering... I could take her instead of Bliss. It might not be a bad idea. And I don't mind that idea. Anyway. Next episode, I guess we'll use these and try it on this a bit more. See if we can get another point. I doubt we will, but we'll see what happens. And then we'll find out what Marco has. Till then, I am Chester44. I'll send in his fly. This has been a Let's Play of Citizen Sleeper 2. And I shall see you all next time.